My name's Amanda Fishback, and I'm a survivor of abuse. Growing up, I was in a family that unfortunately was just filled with a lot of turmoil. My mom and dad were only 16 when I was born. My father immediately said I was not his child and left. And my mother immediately moved on to another man. There are 6 of us. There's 5 brothers and sisters, and almost every one of us have a different father. And the environment was just filled with drugs and alcohol and abuse, and really it was just a really chaotic and dysfunctional family environment.
Well, everyone knows probably what we do, but I would describe it as a place where children are truly cared for. The best part of it is that we take them at their hurting point and we start to help them heal. And so it's just a place of healing and love and people who are really good at what they do.
So historically, children had to go from agency to agency, CPS, law enforcement agencies, district attorney's offices, hospitals, and so we like to have all of the agencies here in one location while the child is interviewed by one person, and then that interview is shared with all of our partner agencies in efforts to minimize trauma.
I was 4 when she married one of my stepdads, and we moved there to his home, and right next door was his father and his mother, and his grandfather was the first person that I can recall that was very abusive. He was very controlling in the things that he said. He would come into my home when I was sleeping at night and do things. He would bring me into his home, and there was a little sunroom garden area that he would take me and my siblings into as well to do things. He would just threaten, which is a very normal thing, is he would threaten that if I ever said anything that he would hurt my mom or hurt my siblings. And being the oldest kid, I had that natural responsibility thing that I wanted to protect my brothers and my sisters. Yeah, the first time that someone noticed was I was in kindergarten, and the kindergarten teacher recognized, and she recognized some of the signs, and that are, a lot of time there are signs, we just don't necessarily want to see them, but she saw these signs and she called Child Protective Services.
As a family advocate, we meet with the families when they first come to our center. We are able to have the children play out in the lobby while we visit with the protective caregiver. During that time, we're able to explain to them exactly what their day is going to look like while they're at our center. The world's been turned upside down, so there might be several resources that they might need, from transportation to housing to food to medical needs. If there is a medical forensic health exam that has to be done, we work closely with our nurse practitioner and our nurses that are on staff that are able to perform those exams for them.
My room here is decorated as superheroes. I think that every child I see is a superhero, and I tell them how amazing they are and how proud of them I am, and it takes a superhero to go through what they've gone through.
If the case becomes criminal, then we also walk with that family as well. As it becomes closer to time for that child to appear in court and to face their perpetrator, we have a Kids in Court program that helps educate that child, and so they're very prepared when they go into the courtroom to know where the judge is going to be, what the jury is about, where their perpetrator is going to be, and what the rules are of the courtroom, and so that really does help.
They brought me in to this. It's a building very similar to y'all's, because I had walked into y'all's and I was like, oh wow, even as a 6-year-old, I could remember what that was like walking through those halls, and then the smaller kid room that had like the dolls and the teddy bears, and I remember them taking me into that room and handing me this doll, and they were able to calm me down and make me feel comfortable and make me feel safe. And they showed me some things on the doll, and they asked me on the doll, they said, could you please show us some of the ways that your grandfather, where he's touched you, or what are some of the things that he's done to you? And that was a real, I I don't know, I felt safe doing that on the doll. It wasn't me saying, this is what he did, you know, to me. And so I was able to share that. And it turns out he had been doing this to over 20 kids in our immediate neighborhood.
As a society, we do a great job in teaching our children stranger danger. Do not go with strangers, do not talk to strangers, do not take candy from strangers. However, national statistics show us that children who are abused, 90% of them know who their perpetrator is. 60% are going to be friends of the family, 30% are going to be family members, with only 10% being strangers.
Justice and protection are a very important part of the healing process. Obviously, feeling safe and secure is a big deal. But therapy, when a child, first off, when they recognize that what was going on with them and what was happening to them was not okay and it was not all right, and no matter what they were told, they didn't deserve it and it wasn't their fault. Therapy helps them begin to realize that, and to process that not only was it not okay and was it not right, but that they can be whole from that, so that they can heal from that, that doesn't have to shape their future. I really love that the Children's Advocacy Center of Smith County makes therapy available immediately following these situations. I didn't begin counseling and therapy until I was 18 or 19, and the first case of abuse was when I was 5, confessed when I was 6 about everything going on. I feel like some of the things that I endured and that I went through and that I believed about myself, those things could have been addressed much earlier, and I could have begun that healing process much earlier. So I love that they make that available.
These children deserve a safe place to come and to tell their story, and they deserve a place where they can be healed, where they can be helped, where they can find safety and justice. We are grateful to you for helping our children, those who are the most vulnerable in our community and who have no voice without the work we do.